What's up, guys? So a few months ago, my friends and I went up to Cleveland, Ohio, and we shot a spec ad for Aston Martin. So I just wanted to break down our process and how we did it. Before we get started, here is the final product of what we made.
What are the qualities of a leader? One which is uncompromised, powerful, innovative, forward-thinking. These qualities radiate distinction. This is Aston Martin. This is Absolute.
So the main thing I want to go over today is how we did it on such little money, because this was a passion project of ours. We had to spend our own money to make this ad. So as a few 20-somethings, we really don't have that much money to put into this. So during this process, we learned how to shoot something that looks really expensive, but have it cost little to nothing. So the first things first, and you know I'm gonna say it, is pre-production. We had to plan everything out very detailed so that we didn't waste any time overshooting. Because when you're doing a passion project, you're probably renting gear, or you're renting a studio, or you're just borrowing people's time, and so you need to be able to make it quickly. So that's why a shot list was so important for us, because we needed to know the exact shots we needed and just get those shots and call it a day. We only had 24 hours with this incredible car, and we only had 5 hours in that incredible studio that we were in. So on our shot list, we had the framing, the camera movement, and also the lighting all pre-planned so that we wouldn't have any questions or disagreements or discussions on set on the day of that would hinder our progress. And thing number two of how we pulled this off was we spent our money where it mattered the most. So every passion project is different, but the things that mattered most for us were, one, the car, and two, the studio. Now, obviously the car was a big expense for us because we don't know anybody who owns an Aston Martin. So we went on a site called Turo, which is basically like Airbnb for cars, and we rented one there. And our second biggest expense was the studio. So we went to a studio in Cleveland, Ohio called Creative House Studios, and it was fully equipped with RE sky panels and just everything you would need to make a sick car commercial. The reason we went with that studio is because we knew we could save so much money on lighting and so much time getting the car in there, because it's meant for doing this type of thing. So we knew that putting our money into a nice studio, it was gonna be worth it for us in the long run. And speaking of gear, we actually shot all this on my Blackmagic Pocket 6K, which is recording this video right now. It's a relatively inexpensive cinema camera that you can rent for pretty cheap. So the only film gear we rented for this entire shoot was a Dana dolly for those like pushes and pulls that you saw in the studio, and also a Panasonic S1H. And the reason we rented the S1H was because my Pocket 6K does not go on a gimbal very happily. So we just rented the S1H and put it on my Ronin M. And that's what you see for that gimbal shot on the bridge. That's like a reverse shot type of thing. And quick side note, this is just a fun fact. For that like ignition, like flame shot that you saw at the beginning of the ad, that was done in my garage. We just had a $10 like little metal pipe from Lowe's, and then we ignited some bug spray and shot it straight through the pipe in slow motion, and that was all there was to it. It's just another example of like one of those cool things that you can do that don't require a lot of setup or a lot of money or even time. And the last thing that helped us pull this off is we had a killer crew that worked for free. And that might sound like, oh, well, you got lucky, and I don't have that. The way that people came on board for this was they heard about the idea, like, hey, you wanna come shoot an Aston Martin commercial? And people were way more willing to come on board because the idea was big and the idea was ambitious. So I just wanna encourage anybody out there who, if you're thinking of doing a passion project, whether that be a short film, music video, commercial, or even any other form of art, I don't know. I would encourage you to dream bigger and go with the crazy idea, because that's the one that people are more likely to wanna hop on board for. And also, of course, having a network of people in the production scene in your area also helps. So if you've ever worked on any film sets, pulling from those people, making connections while you're on set is super helpful, because then you can reach out to those buddies that you made. I make buddies, gosh. So yeah, that was just one of the biggest lessons I learned during this whole thing. And the thing that surprised me the most was people being so willing to help out. So yeah, dream big, make the crazy idea, and people just might want to join you. Anyways, I hope you guys learned a thing or two about our process and how we went about making this ad. If you want to see anything else like lighting breakdowns or anything more like nitty-gritty in the technical side of things, let me know. I'd be more than happy to make a separate video about that. But anyways, I hope this encourages you guys to go out there and shoot that passion project that you've been thinking about for days, months, years. We've all been there. So yeah, go out and do it, dream big, and yeah, have a great day. Most importantly, enjoy your meal. Thank you.
Are you recording?
I'm recording for Instagram. Yeah, ProRes. ProRes for my iPhone. ProRes RAW.
And action.
Can you tell us about the food situation?
So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have chicken stir fry.
Wow.
Followed up next day by sweet, sweet burgers that will make your veins stop pumping blood.